embark on this project's pretty unique. We really didn't know what we were getting into. Very exciting.
It's an important project, but it's a fun project.
Everybody loves wildlife, and having that opportunity to share what we do with those individuals has been an unbelievable experience.
Yeah, so this morning we're cruising down the road here, just looking for some opportunity to capture calves. The young ones, they tend to bed down during the first 3 or 4 days of life before they're really that mobile, so that we can deploy GPS collars and VHF trackers to monitor their survival. So this project started 5 years ago in an effort to learn more about the impacts of the recovering Mexican gray wolf population in the Gila National Forest. Hopefully we'll get the young ones to bed. And again, if one bed's real close to you, just go ahead and run over and grab it.
We're trying to determine several things, actually, on catching these calves. Correlated to habitat, to the wolf, any other predator, those kinds of things, to see what may be killing calves and making sure that we do have enough calves for the future and the growing of the elk herd here in the Gila.
They already know we're here. Is if we see any calves in with them. And if there is, we'll charge them. Otherwise, we'll just circle back to where they came from. The Mexican gray wolf was reintroduced in 1997. The department wants to understand a little bit more about how direct predation and also indirect effects may have implications towards population growth. So there's a little calf as we approach this group. He bedded down right over here next to this log. And what we're gonna do is we'll just make our way up, try to get into his field of view. And then one of us will act as a distraction. And once we know what direction it's facing, I'll come around from behind it and get on top of it. Drought conditions, several low recruitment years, various predation aspects. We can plug all these different things into a model, and it'll help us to project that elk population into the next few years. Dang, he was bigger than I thought he was. That's how we'll get him. I probably jumped the gun a little bit too much there. So as long as they're focused on somebody, I should have been able to get in a little closer before trying to rush him.
You're just laying low, hoping you walk right by them.
Yeah, and often you do.
And yeah, you can walk right by them.
We are looking at it through both the prey viewpoint as well as the predator viewpoint with the assistance of the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. They've captured and collared approximately 60% of the total wolf population. As well as within this past year, we started collaring mountain lions to get prey composition and kill rates of those individuals as well. So we're getting both the prey and predator viewpoint on this study.
So it looks like we've got a neonate bedded down just on the other side of the sapling. We're gonna have him go up and act as a distraction so that the calf is looking elsewhere. We should be able to sneak up behind it and grab it. Oh my God. Got it. I'm gonna slip this little blindfold over his eyes just to help calm him down a little bit. It's okay, buddy. It's okay. Okay, you wanna be my scribe?
We start to take a variety of measurements to be utilized in our analysis at the end of the project.
When we take this measurement, we take the longest on the outside of the front incisor from the gum line to the top.
This process typically takes anywhere from little as 3 minutes to upwards of 8 minutes.
Got it? She might be a little heavy.
Once we finish, we slap a GPS collar on the individual and a VHF ear tag to allow us to track it for mortality and survival. And then we kick it loose, and most of the time see it reunite with its mom.
Great job, guys. That was an awesome spot on your part. And yeah, good teamwork and good communication. Hopefully we can get a couple more like that.
It worked out nice.
What's unique about this project is the vast acreage. It's a huge area, and we're going to learn a lot about it because of how vast it is, and it's not just a small little project on one little canyon.
They probably all stayed with the herd, but
We had an original sample size goal of catching 500 adult female elk and outfitted each one of those with GPS collars as well.
this is my chance to become YouTube famous, and I couldn't pass that up.
Every May and June, we come out and catch neonates. Our target sample size is typically 180 calves.
It's amazing how hard it is to catch some of these calves sometimes.
See what we can come up with.
So there'll be a few where you'll spot the calf laying on the ground and you think you're close enough to get near it to grab it. Okay, it's looking right at me, right there. Oh. Unless you're a pretty fast sprinter, it's pretty hard to get, so that's a lot of fun in it.
That one's another runner. I guess one of the novel things that I've been trying to do on this study down here is in traditional mortality research, it's been viewed as very black and white.
What are you gonna start with?
Oftentimes it's not one contributing factor, as it's often a multitude. Especially during winter when an individual is nutritionally stressed, they can be at a higher risk of predation. And if a wolf then kills it, how do you differentiate that as a researcher or a scientist?
7.64.
Like I said, traditionally you would have to pick one or the other, but in my methodology I'm allowing weights to be assigned to both the proximate and ultimate cause of mortality, thus capturing both the wolf predation and the malnutrition case. Some other interesting findings that I guess I wasn't anticipating coming into this study is the influence of mountain lions. I wasn't expecting as much lion kills outwardly as what we've been seeing towards our adults.
Hey Carl, this is Jim. Check it back in.
All right, Jim. Yeah, we're right next to Snow Lake.
So oftentimes we can't capture calves always in easy places to access, such as open Forest Service roads.
Okay, Jim, we're coming towards Kelowna now.
In those instances, we can employ a helicopter to come in
We think we might be able to keep flying.
to fly us into some of these more remote regions
Hi Carl, yeah, we got a few onesie-twosies out here.
and find
Okay,
calves a little bit more efficiently.
Oh, there's a bunch of them in the tree now. See them all up there?
Yeah, there you
Oh,
go.
more and more and more. A lot of them. There they are. That's where all the calves are. I see one running, actually. A little calf. Yeah.
You know, we have the ability to use a net gun. Calf is sizable, you know, more like 4 or 5 days old.
Good shot, thanks. So we just got a calf off of a helicopter, they netted it, and we're just helping them work it up while they work on another calf over there.
But sometimes they don't want to bed down, and that's when we use the net gun. Large projects like this have a lot of different moving parts, a lot of different personnel, and a big part of that is finding the funding to put boots on the ground. The Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation has really been quite pivotal in this research project specifically.
We'll shoot for 3 more around here if we can.
Being out on a project like this gives you a good feeling that a great organization like the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation, who puts money on the ground for elk habitat, just to see where your money is going and how beneficial it is to the conservation mission of the Elk Foundation.
There's a couple elk running there. Oh, there's a bunch under the trees. Yeah. See them all up there? There are. Yeah, there you go.
So I think this is very cool to see that RMEF funds are going to research that are going to help manage these animals for future generations.
Well, it's important so that we manage the elk properly. So the elk in this region, in this area, will be here for future generations. So that's the most important thing.
Everybody loves wildlife, and everybody loves getting outdoors with their friends and their family, and having that opportunity to share what we do with those individuals has been an unbelievable experience.